Hello Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. These are your messages for November. Very happy birthday to those of you that will be celebrating your solar returns at the end of this month. But let's see what we have coming up for you. So the very first card that we have as your underlying energy is the Lovers. The Lovers can refer to a relationship. So, we have a couple here. This could be referring to a relationship issue that's coming up in November for you guys. Or it can refer to a head or heart decision that needs to be made. I usually say it's not a true decision because it's kind of saying it's the Lovers, right? What do you love? But it's kind of weighing up, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and which is the right way for us to go. It's a major arcana card, so it's a major decision. I mean, we have minor card like Two of Wands, Two of Swords, all of those cards that do with decisions. It's major arcana, so that's major changes that are taking place. I think you guys got something to do with a decision or, that kind of thing last time as well. So that could be kind of ongoing here. You still seem kind of stuck. You have the Eight of Swords coming up at the heart of your reading. Now, the Eight of Swords, it's a card when we feel like we have no options. We don't know what to do. We want to make changes, but we can't make changes. We feel stuck. But the whole point of this card is that, we think we're stuck. We aren't actually. There are things that we can do. Yes, we may not be able to make the big changes that we want to make, but, we can make the smaller ones. If we look at this person, like she's bound, right? She's blindfolded, but she's not actually tied to anything. So while she can't, she's not free to move her arms around or to make the big movements like she'd like to, she could kind of struggle out of there. It would be a struggle. It wouldn't be easy, but she could get out of there. Now, in this deck, it's a little different because usually we see the person surrounded by the swords, and she isn't here. She's not surrounded by the swords. They're above her head, which is also quite daunting. It's very much like the Nine of Swords energy in the Eight of Swords in this deck. But it's telling you, it could be your fears that are keeping you back. Our thoughts that I can't do that, I can't do this. But that's kind of like the Lovers, right? The Lovers says a head or heart decision. Masculine energy, the divine masculine energy, we all have it. That's our logic, our thinking. And then the female, the divine feminine energy, which is our emotions, our feeling. And sometimes it's about reconciling the two. But it kind of feels like you're doing the head thing right now with the Eight of Swords coming up at the heart of your reading. It does get better though. Now, why is it that you're kind of stuck in your head at the moment? Well, it looks like you were kind of stuck in your feelings before. We have the Seven of Cups coming up. Now, the Seven of Cups is a card of looking at which dreams are worth pursuing, which dreams are not. We may have a lot of options. Now, usually, again, it's different in this deck, but in the Rider-Waite, this guy has his back to us. And he's looking at all these cups, trying to figure out which cup he wants. But here it's almost as if he's like, oh no, he's done with it. Nothing seems appealing to him. And that might be where you've been. This is a past energy foundation. You've had options. You might have had things that were there. Now, sometimes it's not that, nothing looks good to us. It might look too good. This can be that energy sometimes of it looks like a fantasy. It looks like a daydream. Like it's too good to be true. So that can be the energy of this card sometimes when it comes up. I find it interesting though that you have this kind of cups are all our emotions, our happiness, our dreams. Like I said, fantasies. So we have this coming up as a past energy, but you're kind of stuck in your head now. So maybe you had options. It doesn't show that you didn't take your options. It's more like you're still trying to weigh up what's right, what's wrong, what do I feel like doing? What should I be doing? Mental thinking. What do I really feel like I should be doing? It kind of feels like you become very clear on this because you have the Queen of Swords coming up in your present. Now, the Queen of Swords, she's very good at making decisions. She's sometimes called the heartache queen, the widow, the divorce queen, because she's had every difficult kind of experience that you can imagine happen to her. But everything that's happened to her, it's given her knowledge now. Now she knows how to deal with any given situation. She is Swords energy, which is air energy. So this could refer to an air sign that's in your life or someone that has those qualities somewhere in their chart, which would be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. But I feel like this is most likely you. So you have the Lovers coming up. And I just hit the mic there. Brilliant. So you have the Lovers coming up at the top here. And underneath sits the Queen of Swords. So if there's a decision to be made, it looks like she'll make it. She doesn't have problems making decisions. She thinks very clearly and she's like, okay, we're going to do this. Now, she makes her decision from authenticity. She decides that, this is what I want. Some of you may be in a relationship or dealing with an air sign or someone that has these qualities. Or like I said, it could be you. It could be you that finally you have that clarity of thought. You know what you want and, you're able to go for it. Now, there's an interesting energy that kind of sweeps through all of this. If you look at the cards, so you have the Lovers, right? But even the Lovers, even if when it indicates a partnership or a couple, they're not touching each other. There's space between them. Yes, it's a union. Yes, it's blessed by an angel, but they're not together. They kind of stand opposite each other and they are naked. I always say whenever naked people show up in the tarot, it's showing who you truly are, like the authentic you, that this is who I am, warts and all, this is who I am, take it or leave it kind of energy. And it takes a lot of courage to make yourself that vulnerable. But like I said, even though there's people in that card, they're not together. There's distance between them. So maybe that's what the decision is about for some of you, like how to get closer to someone. If you're in a long distance relationship, it's come to crunch time now. Like, are you guys going to move closer to each other or what's going to happen here? And that might be why you're stuck because, you can't come up with any options. You think, I'm stuck here. I don't know what to do. But there are ways out of that. The Eight of Swords, all is not lost. It's just saying that, there might be options that you're looking at that might be too difficult this time. That they might hurt you, that you're not ready to face them right now. She is blindfolded. And whenever people are blindfolded, they don't want to see certain things. And it's usually a protection thing, like because they don't want to be vulnerable. But it feels like you are ready to be vulnerable. With that naked couple in the Lovers, that does show kind of people that are showing who they are, authentically who they are. And that's the Queen of Swords. She is completely authentic. She speaks her truth. She will only deal with the truth. That is her sword of truth that she holds out there. And it's strange because Scorpio just got this as well, but they got this in the future. But you guys get it in your present. It does feel like a lot of people are becoming very clear on what they want. So anyway, that sweeping energy that I was talking about going through this is even though there's a couple in the Lovers, they're not together. This person is bound alone, like they're stuck in their own head. They're trying to decide what they want. This person stuck on his own, trying to figure out what he wants, right? So even the Queen of Swords, she sits alone on her throne. But look, she is calling. She is calling someone to her. Like she's calling someone over saying, come on over. But she will deal with them with the truth only. Now, the card that this faces for the future energy is the Three of Cups. You are not alone here. So if you've been feeling this kind of very solo energy, like you're in this alone, you've been kind of slogging it out alone, you've been working on something alone, and you can even be in a partnership and you felt really lonely, like you've not known what it is that you want to do, that seems like it changes. For some people, the Three of Cups, look, they're celebrating, right? They have their cups raised. This can be a celebration of some kind. This can be just spending time with loved ones, family, friends. This can also be a reunion. So people that we haven't seen in a while. In fact, I do get that strong sense for a lot of you that this is a reunion because there's like solo energy. And it kind of feels like you may have been kind of misunderstood, like what's Sagittarius been doing off on their own, or even if you've been around people, you may have been like checked out, almost like you're not there, you're not fully there, because you've been trying to figure things out. That's very clear here. When you have the Eight of Swords, when you have the Seven of Cups, you've been trying to figure things out. November though, things start to clear up. Things definitely start to clear. Now, for some of you, I'm going to say this, if this is not your energy, it might be that someone's just done with waiting for a decision from you. They might be like, they might be giving you the Queen of Swords treatment, which is, hey, what are we doing here? What's the truth? What do you want? Let's go. It's crunch time. What are we doing? But it seems to end well. We have the Three of Cups, like I said. I like this because this is our support network. This is when we realize we're not alone. We have other people supporting us. We have other people that love us. These are the people that we love, the people that we support. And it's almost as if they free you. Now, for some of you, if you've just got an issue, like it could be you're worried about work at the moment. You're worried about an issue with a child or, your family, or it doesn't even have to be love. It can be anything. Whatever's keeping you trapped in your head right now, talk to someone, like you have friends there, you have people that will listen. This can be, I mean, I always see the Three of Cups as like a community card as well. So it can be sometimes when, we're trying to pursue something like a project or a hobby or want to break out in some kind of business. And it would be like, say, for example, for me, I work as a tarot card reader and I make these videos, but it's kind of solo work a lot of the time. I work by myself. So this would be me collaborating, say, with other tarot card readers, working with other people, knowing that there are other people that understand what I go through and they go through the same thing. And, we're sharing our emotions. We're sharing what makes us happy, what makes us sad, and understanding each other, that we're there for each other. So it's that kind of energy. Now, what is it that leads you to this future energy? What's the advice that's coming up in your cards? Well, we have the Magician. I actually like this card. It's a very interesting looking Magician here. The Magician is the card that says you have everything that you need to get what you want. Everything that you need. It's the true first card of the major arcana for me. It's numbered 1, right? The Fool is meant to be the first card, but the Fool is numbered 0. So it's not the beginning, it's not the end. It's that kind of interim period when we're getting ready to go again. The Magician is when we're ready to go. We've started, we've taken that first step, and we're looking at what we have. We're looking at, the tools that we have. We're looking at a toolkit and saying, I gave this example the other day, that it's like looking in your pantry and saying, I want to make a cake. What do I have? And you might have all the ingredients, right? You have all the ingredients to make your cake. That's the Magician. The Magician says you have everything that you need. It's the card of manifestation, but it's not just manifestation. To me, the Magician is also a card of channeling energy. So if you have inspiration, you know where to direct it. If you're even angry, like, that energy that we get, that fears, or we might have, where to direct them. You're not trapped by them. That's the whole thing. If you're trapped here by your thoughts, I'm really sorry about the fireworks. I think it's for Guy Fawkes, but that's tomorrow. We have the Magician, and the Magician, he channels energy. He's not doing it here, but it's like as above, so below. That's usually the energy of the Magician card. So this talks about not being so trapped, knowing that you have what it takes. Now, it's not just in terms of skills or, the ideas or the dream. I mean, we do have the 7 of Cups above the Magician. So it's not just about having the thoughts, having the feelings, having the inspiration, having the creativity. It's not just about that. It's about having the people, the backing. There are people here that will support you. There are people here that are, willing to help you. And it's strange because I think this is a message that's coming to for a lot of people. I think from what I've seen from around Virgo season and Libra, it's been this whole thing of feeling kind of alone, feeling very alone, going internally, having a look. And that can be quite a lonely endeavor. But it feels like for you now, there are other people coming in and there is help available for you. But let's have a look at what your oracle cards say. So the first card that we have is Trust. And it says, this situation is calling for you to have faith. Now, is this lack of faith? Is this lack of faith? Like, this is worrying. Maybe this could be like, am I going to be able to do this? Is that person going to support me? That's worry. There's only one way to find out, is to go and check. To go and ask. Call them over and say, hey, what's going on? Or this. When we're presented by all of this, we might have all the options that we want. We might be being shown something that we truly want, and it just seems too good to be true. Like, this can't be happening. Not for me. Like, why is this too, that sense of that it's too good to be true. But you are being told to trust. And then we have love who you are. And it says you are a divine and wonderful person, deserving all of the wonderful things that life has to offer. So again, it's saying the same thing with the 7 of Cups. When you were presented by all of this, is it because you thought, I don't deserve this, or it's too good to be true, or, maybe you're rejecting this because you deserve better. That's perfectly fine as well. But you have to love who you are, and loving who you are, it means knowing who you are. You don't just paper over the paper over the cracks even. It's saying that, no matter who you are, no matter what you are, you love yourself. Now, think about when you love people in your life, like a friend or a lover or, your family, you want what's best for them. And no one's perfect, right? But you still love them and you want the best thing for them. So when you love yourself, you will only accept the best for yourself as well. Now, you have coming up from, oh God, that's totally whited out. We have number 34, a leg up, coming in from the Wisdom of the Oracle. This is a card that says there is help available to you. Ties in very nicely with the Three of Cups. A leg up, it's all about, it's really cute actually, I don't know if you can see it. There's a little baby polar bear climbing up onto the mama polar bear. And it's about, you know, sometimes you need help. You need other people. It's saying that you've gone as far as you can on your own. It's okay now to look for a support network. It's okay now to look to other people to see who can help you. Three of Cups. There will be people that can help you. There is a network of support available to you. All of your messages are kind of very similar, and it's kind of reassuring you that there's help available there. I just feel like for a lot of Sagittarians, it's been a very lonely endeavor. You've been going through a lot, and maybe you've gotten to that point now, you've done so much and you're kind of questioning, why am I here? What's going on? What changes do I make next? And even with the Lovers card, maybe you're not seeing evidence of love in your life. Well, you have the High Lady of Love and Compassion coming in here. This card talks about reverence, kindness, and consideration. And this card says the main message of this card is that at the end of the day, love is all that matters. What do you love? Who do you love? Can be a job, can be a project, can be a person. But that's what's important here. That's the kind of keeping your eye on the prize. It's love. The High Lady of Love and Compassion also speaks of seeing evidence of love and compassion around you. This can be when we see lots of synchronicities. If whatever we love, whatever we have love and compassion for, and if we focus on that and go live from our hearts, we will see evidence of that shown back to us. And that's what a leg up says as well, that, you know, we will see evidence of, there might have been people in the past that we've helped. Now they come in to help us.